Hello and welcome to Coping with Donald. I'm Phil. Georgia is with family today. This is dedicated to a very incomplete list of things that I have already seen enough of in 2 weeks, definitely to last me 4 years. I honestly, at this point, because of the first 2 weeks, I don't see either myself nor Georgia being in this country at the end of 4 years, if we're alive. 2 weeks. I have seen enough. And by the way, if you want to add to this list, please feel free to comment. Please feel free to like this or send it to your friends. But in the first 2 weeks, I've seen enough Nazi salutes. I have seen enough setups for misinformation. I'll go over that next in a future video. I have seen enough firings. I have seen enough blaming everything on diversity. And he's getting to the point where he's picking on people that are missing limbs now, okay? And after that plane crash, and that's really upsetting. I have seen enough unrestrained cheering by the right as if things are going well. I have seen enough RFK, Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., to last I don't know how many lifetimes. And that will be a sad moment if he's confirmed. The man is a total crackpot. I have seen enough threats to the poor, most recently the debacle on Tuesday, where federal funding was frozen, then unfrozen, and of course, Trump had nothing to do with it, right? They just did it behind his back. He didn't know about it. It's my cheat sheet. I have seen enough Dr. Phil. I never liked Dr. Phil. I always thought he kind of piled on his show on top of people with problems and didn't really do anything to help, despite his claims otherwise. But now that he's going on ICE raids to make a television show, and at the same time claim he's non-political, I have seen enough Dr. Phil. Finally, I have seen enough from the president to wonder what kind of a percentage mix it is of sociopath, insanity, or Alzheimer's. Because I think there's elements of all three. I noticed that one result for me in this first 2 weeks is, and in fact for 6 months, because of the stress, is I keep gaining weight. And that I'm not going to put at the feet of President Trump. But I don't think all the stress and tension helps. I saw on one unrestrained cheering video a comment underneath about a person who was like really at wit's end. It was a woman. She was at wit's end. I feel like I'm going to lose everything, and I'm losing the country that I believed in, etc. And somebody underneath wrote, "Get a grip." I think anyone who could write "get a grip" would be a fascist. Remember, these are the people that were so over-obsessed with, say, trans people, as an example. They didn't feel the need to get a grip then. But in this country's becoming a dumpster fire to tell people to get a grip, I think you got to check your level of sociopath insanity and Alzheimer's. Again, do research on other countries should need be. I think if I did not own, I'm positive if I did not own this little condo, that I would be going to another country. Owning the condo, at this point anyway, and I know Florida's getting tougher, but owning the condo is actually kind of like paying a very low rent for me at this point. So it's tough to walk away from that. It's also tough to walk away from healthcare that I worked my whole life for, really, because retirement government healthcare at this point is still a little bit better than typical Medicare and Part B and supplement plan, especially an Advantage supplement plan. So, given that, those are two very compelling reasons for me to stay here. Very compelling. They're both financial. Anything else is pointing to leaving. There's absolutely no reason to stay here among the hate. So that's the decision that I have to wrestle with. If you wrestle with your own, because of the pros and the cons, please write below. I also happen to know a little bit of Spanish, so I could get by in the Spanish-speaking area. Not well. Probably I would still get one of those machines that translates, but I would know enough to get by. I don't have much family here. I have my daughter, my little girl, all grown up. But she lives 3,000 miles away on the same continent, in the same country, which is sad. I hope to visit her this summer. I know Georgia wants to go to an island. Georgia is totally into beach living. She loves beach living more than urban living, for sure. So, you have to explore those options. You also have to decide if you want to, say, to join a Democratic club. Try to be in the resistance if Democrats offer any resistance. And you have to join, if you've ever seen a Unitarian church, they're pretty good. I'm considering rejoining one, except, as I said, I don't know if I'm going to be here in a couple of years. At the rate that Donald Trump's going, I just can't imagine being able to stand it. Especially if polls and, say, the election in 2 years continues to support the Republicans. I can't imagine staying here. It's just too much. You can also try to move to a blue state. Problem is, California is very expensive, and the other blue states are all very cold. The only one that I could think of would be New Mexico, but New Mexico has a high crime rate. So you have to make this decision for yourself. You have time to do it. Think hard. Get a passport now before government gets cut even further. I saw that he is demanding cuts in the Office of Personnel Management, and that would possibly in the future also affect government services. I'm glad I'm in the pension system now. I'm glad I retired when I did. I wouldn't want to be doing it now. Because it might take a real long time to process everything. So you have to think first, what is it that you want? How you could see yourself living? A list of things that you would give up versus a list of things that you would gain. But peace of mind would be a tremendous gain. And it would be a lot easier to join the anti-Trump movement from Europe or Southeast Asia or even now South America. He's pretty much alienating everybody. And you'd have more in common with the people that surround you. All right, this is Phil. I'm signing off. I'm going to make another video, and take care. Put down below if you feel other things that you've had enough of already after 2 weeks. Have a good day.